What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update post Supreme Darkness for Speedroids. That's right, Speedroids got some really cool support, brand new synchros, 1 and 2 being a brand new crystal clearwing, and then some brand new main deck monsters. The best thing about all the Speedroid stuff is it is incredibly cheap to pick up if you get the new support, that is, and this card is the highest rarity, being an ultra rare. Unless you want to splurge and make it look extra shiny, then you're going to want to be picking yourself up a quarter century rare version as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through the profile, explain the choices behind it, what you're going to be looking for, and then at the end of the video as well, I'll also show you a very basic 2-card combo that kind of gets you going so you know exactly where you're going to be doing with this deck, what type of negates you can set up, and how you can do it so easy. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you'll miss out on any more upcoming content. Diving head first into the profile, we're going to start with the Pendulum monsters themselves, and this is going to start off with Speedroid Marble Machine. So you're going to want to max out on this card right now because this one on normal summon, so mainly your own go-to starter, it lets you activate this effect to add a Speedroid monster from the deck to the hand. You can't special summon for the rest of the turn except wins, which you don't really care about, and then that's going to be able to get you direct access to the brand new card, Colonel Clackers. So I like to play 3 Colonel Clackers at this exact moment in time. It might change to 2 because it's so easily searchable, but there are those times where you don't want to rely on your opponent going, okay, well, if they have an Ash, Imperm, or Veiler to stop my search to this guy, I'm in trouble, whereas if you can just hard open it, you get a different search target instead, and you'll still be able to complete your Clackers combo. So this one, in the scale, you get to banish a Speedroid card from the graveyard to place a Speedroid Pendulum monster from your deck into your Pendulum zone. You can't special for the rest of the turn except wins, absolutely fine. The card you're going to want to put into your other zone will of course be your Speedroid Win Synchron, which I'll talk about in a second. The monster effect on this field is if this card is on the field is destroyed by battle of card effect, so even if it's destroyed in the zone, it just needs to be on the field. You get to special on a Speedroid Colonel Clackers as a tune-up from your hand, deck, or graveyard. During damage calculation, if your Clearwing monster battles while this card is face up in the extra deck, you get to banish this card, and if you do, it gains 700 attack. Only use each effect once per turn. So obviously another benefit of playing 3 of this is if you do hard open one, you still have more ways of being able to get the second effect off without burning through so much resource. And then of course the Speedroid Wing Synchron. So once per turn it's scale effect, you get to destroy this card and a level 2 Wind Pendulum monster. Hello! And then in your Pendulum zone, if you do, special summon a Clearwing Synchro Dragon from your extra deck. It is treated as a Synchro summon, and for the rest of the turn, this card and its cards in your Pendulum zone cannot be destroyed by card effects, and you can't special except wins. Absolutely fine. The monster effect is if it is added to your extra deck face up and you control 2 or more different types of wind synchro monsters, you get to send a Speedroid spell or trap from the deck to the graveyard, only use each effect once per turn. So that's quite useful to send some of your Speedroid spells because they'll be able to banish and search, and obviously you have trap cards that let you banish and summon, so great success on that one. Coming away from the Pendulums, we are playing triple Speedroid Terratop. Thank you Konami for allowing this to come back at 3. Like, if this card was still at 1, the casualties of meta play. Playing this back at 3, we're then backing this up with 2 card turbo, and then I'm also playing 2 Tuckentornborg. You can play 3 card turbo if you want to. Again, that's kind of like the same viewpoint of play 3 of this, you don't need to worry about searching it, but you have so many ways of searching your starters, you might as well. So it really is entirely up to you. The reason I'm not playing 3 of that is I do like to play a good range of 1-ofs, but we'll also play a decent 2-ofs in the brand new, well I say brand new Ultra Hound. It's been around for a while, but now it actually becomes even more relevant. So when this card is normaled, again, you get to send a Speedroid card from the deck to the graveyard, and then during the main phase, except the turn the card was sent to the graveyard, you get to banish it from the graveyard, target a Speedroid monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, special summon a Speedroid Synchro monster from your extra deck with the same level, but a different name, but negate its effects. And obviously the idea is on normal, you get to send a Speedroid card from deck to grave, and that's when you can start utilising some of your new cards as well. And then for the 1-offs, I do like to play the 1 Den Daiko Duke, the 1 Moodish Piper, the 1 Red-Eyed Dice, and 1 Double Yo-Yo. We're then finishing up the monsters with triple Win the Wind Charmer. Like, this is just a discard, set up a Speedroid in your graveyard, and then search out any of your Wind monsters. You can very easily put a small cash tier package in this, and what I mean by that is you'd play 3 Unicorn and a Birth. Really is up to you. I think it's a really good card still to kind of snipe away at your opponent's extra deck, so it is an option for you, but honestly I don't think you need to anymore. Then for the spells, I'm playing 2 Speedroid Scratch. So you send a Speedroid card from your hand to the graveyard, add a Speedroid monster from your deck to the hand. So again, it's just more consistency to get to some of your other cards. Yes, of course, it does play into Draw and Lockbird quite easily. So it's one of the ones that if you fear Draw and Lockbird in your environment, you'd kind of play your strategies a little bit differently. Then, of course, we've got 2 Speedroid Will. Quick effect, discard a card, roll a 6-sided dice, special summon from your hand and or deck 1 or 2 Speedroid monsters whose total levels equal the result, but negate their effects. And if you do not special summon, you lose life points equal to the result times 500. So, obviously, it's a nice little bit of a searcher or summoner from the deck. You do have more levels now, especially with Clacker being a 2 and everything else. It can be very, very helpful. And then finally, 2 Speed Recovery. You don't have to play this. You can take it out if you want to, or cut it down to 1 or bump it up to 3. You have so much flexibility, but I think you'd be crazy not to play it at least, because this card is a special summon from the graveyard of a Speedroid monster. And then during the main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you get to banish it from the graveyard to then target a Speedroid monster in the grave and add it to the hand. The best thing about that is neither of those effects are hard once per turn. So if you were to activate both of the Speed Recoveries in 1 turn and revive 2, during the next turn you banish both and add 2 back. So endless recycle. The final one, of course, is Called by the Grave. And then we do have the good old-fashioned Speedroid Duplicate and the brand new Speedroid Clear Wing Wonder. So target cards your opponent controls up to the number of different monster types among the wind synchro monsters you control. Destroy them. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you get to banish this card from the graveyard. Target a wind synchro monster you control. Banish it, but return it to the field during the end phase. I think it's during the end phase. Banish it, then return it to the field. You can only use the effect once per turn, so it basically allows you to dodge target effects, which is really cool. And then for the hand traps, again, these are flexible. You could play, you kind of want to focus on playing like wind cards. You can very easily play Ash, but the more winds you play, the more benefit you'll have at the end of it. I decided to go with triple Dominus Purge, triple Infinite Impermanence, because like this stops us playing darts, waters, and fires. Like I'm only going to be playing winds anyway. And then triple Forbidden Droplet. So I went a little bit more aggressive and making sure I don't run into a triple Tactic Talents, because that would suck. So it does give you a bit more options. It also gives you more options to kind of set cards and then put more of a back row presence to the board that your opponent needs to deal with. Because there'll be a lot of times where like they'll deal with what they can see, and what I mean by that is they'll deal with the crystal wings that you put on your end board, and then they probably will not think about the back row being these particular type of cards. And then they'll be like, okay, well, I'm waiting on an Ash Blossom, I'm waiting on a Ghost Mourner, I'm waiting on a Veiler, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna hit you with a Purge and an Imperm. Moving on to the extra deck. So we do play the one brand new Crystal Clear Wing over Synchro Dragon. So it requires 1 tuner. I'm just going to get this out of the sleeve because annoyingly, these sleeves, not that sleeve, the sleeves cover the text, so I can't even read it properly for you. So it requires 2 tuners and then 2 tuners or 1 tuner Synchro Monster and a Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. It must be special summoned, and then once per turn, when another card or an effect is activated, quick effect, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And if you did destroy a monster, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack until the end of this turn. If this face-up Synchro Summon card in its owner's control would leave the field by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a Clear Wing monster from the extra deck. So obviously the best thing about this is it is your Omni-Negate-esque card, and it's actually a lot easier to get to, and you'll see that in the end combo as well. You're also going to be playing the Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. I advise you trying to grab these now if you don't already, as the Ultras are like £25 on eBay, which is mad. But there's something like £15, give or take, on eBay, so keep your eyes out on those. So once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, except during a damage step, you get to activate this effect until the end of this turn. This face-up card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects of monsters' opponents, and this card gains attack equal to that opponent's monster's original attack. Once per turn, when a spell or trap or an effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If the Synchro Summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you get to add a wind monster from the deck to the hand. So the end board, which you'll see from the combo, will end with both these cards, so you're pretty much setting yourself up with nice negates. We've then got the one Shen as that banish option, so don't play it against Malice, but play it against Ryziel. One Crystal Wing, I'm highly tempted to bump it up to 2. I know most lists play it at 2, but I actually wanted to go with more of a range, and I'll show you some of the... I say more of a range, there's quite a few cards I play 2 of in here. But the idea is I just wanted to kind of show you different options. We're playing 2 of the Clear Wing, just because it's very easy to pump this out now, especially with the Cracker and, of course, the Wing Synchro, so a lot easier to do. And obviously you need it as material in order to get you into this guy. We've then got the one Clear Wing Fast Dragon, followed up by the Charge Warrior. I saw this on another profile. Apologies, I can't remember exactly what one it was, which is really annoying. If I see the profile, I'll put the link in the description. But I saw this and I was like, oh, that's a really kind of cool, spicy tech. It's basically just a level 6 wind monster that gives you a quick effect to target a card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. So it could be quite effective, but very easy to take that out. That's your second Crystal Wing. Hagotai plus the brand new Glider 2. So this requires a Wind Machine Tuner and then 1 non-tuner monster. If this card is Synchro Summoned, you get to target a level 7 or lower Wind non-tuner Synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it. If your opponent special summons a monster or monsters and you control Clear Wing monster, except during the damage step, you get to banish this card from the graveyard, increase the levels of all monsters your opponent controls by 5. Which can be quite annoying because that will then stop them going into Chaos Angel plays, you can also stop them going to rank plays. It's actually really good against Ryzel. Pretty funny. Then got 2 cork shooters just for the grind game, and then 2 rubber bands for the grind game as well. But this is why I'm playing multiples. You can very easily cut them down to 1s each if you wanted to and not be as grindy and just be aggressive. Because at the end of the day, if you get your end board uninterrupted, and even if you can play through certain interruptions as well, when you're ending on 2 of these, you've got 2 very nice powerhouses at 65, and you're going to be able to push in for game the next turn anyway with the rest that you invest. So really kind of cool board. So that's it for the entire profile. Now what I'm going to do with all of the updates that I've done so far with Supreme Darkness is I'm going to show you a very basic 2-card combo for the deck, or the lowest card combo that gets you a decent end board as possible without involving luck, and then show you exactly what this deck can do. So I'll be back in a second. So here is the very basic combo. It requires Marble Machine plus any Speedroid card, which I'll explain as we go. So massive shout out to Supernix. I'll put the link to their combo video in the description below, which will give you more information. I just wanted to kind of physically visualize this combo for you. It's where I first saw the combo as well, so I always give credit where credit is due. So you can kind of see where the combo starts, how it ends, and how you get there. And then you can join Supernix and see all of the combos they have to offer as well to give you a little bit more information. So you're going to start off by normal summoning your Marble Machine. On normal, it allows you to activate the effect to add a Speedroid monster from the deck to the hand. So you're going to be able to grab your Tokatol Borg. You're then going to special summon down the Tokatol Borg, use this effect to tribute it off to grab you the Speedroid Red-Eyed Dice. You then synchro the Marble Machine, go into the extra deck because it's a Pendulum monster, and the dice go into the graveyard for your high speed cork shooter. This will then allow you to add a Speedroid card, and the one you're going to want to add is your Speedroid Scratch. You activate this to send a Speedroid card from your hand, which is why the blank needs to be a Speedroid card. Very easily done. And then it allows you to add a Speedroid monster from the deck to the hand. You still want Scratch to be in rotation because you still want to be able to banish it, but you can banish other cards as well throughout the combo if you don't hard open up the Scratch, or don't get access to the Scratch, or don't play the Scratch. Really is up to you. Or if you hard open up the Clackers, because that's basically what you're trying to get to right here. So you get hold of the Clackers, you're then going to put the Clackers into the Pendulum Zone. You're going to banish the Speedroid card, being the Scratch you've just used to search it, but of course you could very easily, early doors, banish the Speedroid that you discarded, banish the Tokatol Borg. You don't want to banish the dice. That's the one thing you want to make sure you don't do, is banish the dice. In doing so, it lets you place another one in the other Pendulum Zone, which of course be your Speedroid Wing Synchron. You can use the effect of this to destroy both of these, and this will then allow you to synchro out a Clear Wing. It's very important that this has been successfully summoned, because you will be bringing it back later on. You then get to utilize both the effects of the Clackers and the Wing Synchron. Clackers will allow you to summon another one from the deck, and the Willed Synchron will allow you to send the duplicate from the deck to the grave, which is important because you're going to need to bring it back later on as well. Then what you're going to want to do, as you've got a 7 and a 3 on here, is you're going to work your way into a nice little Synchro level 10. So you're going to put these both together to get you your first Omni Negate, or technical negate on the board, being your Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, because you've got a level 3 Tuna Synchro, and then of course you've got a Clear Wing monster. So it's just so much easier to get the Clear Wings into rotation now. It's absolutely mental, which is why I absolutely love it, because it just gives you so much more to kind of play around with, and that's why it's just so much better to give you this rotation, which is everything you're going to possibly need. So once you've got that rotating, the next thing you need to do is get another monster back to the board, and that's of course where the duplicate is going to come into play. So you're going to use the duplicate, target in the Clackers to summon it back to the board, and then of course you're going to be able to link these both together. Clackers go into the extra deck to grab you the high Speedroid Rubber Band. You're then going to use Rubber Band's effect to banish the Crystal Wing from the extra deck, which is why you're going to want to be rocking 2 of this. And in doing so, this allows you to reveal 2 Speedroid monsters with different names from the deck, whose total levels equal the level of that monster. So you get to reveal a level 4 in Yo-Yo and a level 3 in Hound. Now the reason it's important to get to these 2 cards is these cards, no matter the outcome, because your opponent randomly chooses one for you to add to the hand, the other goes to the graveyard, no matter the outcome, you'll still get the outcome that you want, which is what's absolutely insane. So let's say they discard the Yo-Yo, you get to normal summon the Hound. And if they don't discard the Yo-Yo and they discard the Hound, you just normal summon the Yo-Yo and bring one back from the grave. So you still get the exact same outcome, which is absolutely fine. So you're going to normal summon down the Hound. You're going to use Hound's effect when it's normal summon to send a Speedroid card from the deck to the grave, which is going to send down the Dan Dan Duke. And then at this point, obviously the Dan Dan Duke's going to put in a bit of work as well, as that's what's going to allow you to revive from the grave. So it's kind of what gives you the benefit of both, because the Dan Dan Duke still gets you the revival from the grave, and so does the Yo-Yo. So all you want to do is work your way back to getting the dice back into rotation, which is what Dan Dan Duke's going to do. There you go, give you the dice, and then dice can start manipulating levels, so it can put Ultra Hound to a 4, which is what you're ideally trying to do. And if you do hard open, if you get the Yo-Yo instead of the Hound, you just normal summon the Yo-Yo, bring back the dice is a level 1. You still get the exact same outcome, so nothing changes, so you don't be like, oh, well, if they chose Yo-Yo, it's a different outcome. Exact same thing. So you turn Hound to a 4, you synchro these 2 and go into the brand new Glider. And then if it's Synchro Zoned, you get to target a level 7 or lower Wind, Non-Tuner Synchro in your graveyard and special summon it. Well, guess what? We successfully summoned the Crystal Wing last time, so we get to bring this back. You've now got a Synchro Tuner monster that is a level 5, and you've got a a Clear Wing, which is what you need in order to get you into your Crystal Clear Wing Synchro over Synchro Dragon. So we've been able to get this, we've been able to get this, we've been able to get this from one card plus any Speedroid monster. Of course, you still have plays to make as well. You do need to be a little bit careful in Nibiru, but if your opponent doesn't stop you with Nibiru at the right time, it will massively cost them, because at the end of the day, you're still going to have 3 more cards in your hand to play with that can help you extend this board if you need to, or can help you protect the board. So if they're like Imperm, Dominus Impulse, and of course like a Drop Net, it's very difficult for your opponent to break this board, because you've got negates there and there, you've got this as free send fodder, and then if they don't get rid of this, you're going to get an additional normal summon during the next turn anyway. So it's really, really kind of cool what Clackers has added, and obviously all the new support has added. The fact of the matter is, it's kind of what it needed, being able to spam out the Clearwing Synchro Dragon as easy as that, because then it just means it allows you to get more access to some of your bigger monsters, especially your Clearwing Synchro Dragon and your Over Synchro Dragon. It's really kind of what changes the dynamics of this deck. Anyway, I hope this has given you a couple of ideas on your own build. Any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. I will put the link to the rest of the combos in the description down below, so you know exactly where you need to go in order to see all of the glory that is Speedroids. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.